All right. My name is Rish, and I'm a former racer at Crown Point Speedway.
Did
So
you ever race at Rensselaer Speedway?
I started right after Rensselaer closed, but I have raced at Kankakee. I have raced at Shady Hill, as well as some of the other tracks around LaSalle. So yeah,
So when you started racing, what did you start out in?
I started out in street stock. I figured that would be the easiest and most economical way to get into it.
And then where did you go? Did you stay in street stock?
No, I went from street stock. I moved up to hobby stock. I won a championship in hobby stock in '92, and then I moved up to late model.
And so did you finish in late model?
I stopped. Yeah, I ran 3 years in late model, and that was it.
So I just want to know. So how was it to race at the old Crown Point Speedway?
The old Crown Point Speedway had the absolute tackiest surface of any racetrack that I've ever, and dirt track that I've ever drove on.
So and who was? Did you have a rival there when you raced, or what was?
Uh, Mike Kingma actually got me interested in the stock car racing. I went to his shop one time. He was selling some car parts and in the old bargain finder paper. And I went and down to his farm and picked up the parts. And he was in there working on his street. He had a street stock at the time and was working on that and got me interested, got me more interested. And I said, well, heck, he can do that. I can take an old car and do that too. So that's how I got started.
So did you have sponsors back then, or was it?
No, it was mainly out of my pocket. You know, try to get a few sponsors here and there, maybe somebody for used tires or something like that. But it was never anything big.
So and did you have? Was there any nemesis, or was it just?
Well, since I raced, Mike Kingman naturally was one that I always tried to follow up. He was always winning races, so I figured if I could get as good as he was, then then maybe I could be somebody out there. But in each class, there were tough competitors in all classes.
So did you ever end up doing it? Did you ever end up beating Mike?
I finally ended up beating Mike. Hobby stock, I started getting closer. Every night I would finish just a little behind her, a little closer, a little closer. Then got to the point where I beat him a couple times, and then the following season he moved up to late model, and I stayed in hobby stock, and uh, I won pretty good share of my races.
Okay, and so then did you stick with hobby stock until the end?
I stuck with them until the last 3 years that I raced. I moved up to late model. I won a championship, like I say, and then I went up and moved up to late models. Mike was still racing in late model, but that was a huge step to take. That's monetarily and skill wise. That was a huge step.
Now, how did you come up with the number on your car?
I had a dirt bike when I was very young, and it had a number 14 on it, and so I said, well, I like the number 14, but the car is bigger than the bike. I still want to keep the 14. Let's put a zero in front of it, and that makes a bigger number. And that's how I always ended up with that number.
That's cool. So, and then now, did you race at the end before Crown Point?
Or I quit just before Crown Point closed. I was track photographer out there um, when Raystar was doing multiple tracks every weekend. Um, my wife Diva would take pictures down to Shady Hill and on Saturday nights, and I went to Crown Point until they closed, and then I just joined her down there.
Okay, and so you have pictures and that where you won, correct?
That's what
we have on the wall.
Yes, I've got pictures all the way from street stock through hobby through late model. But, I like to surround myself with those and smile every time I look at them.
And then these are the trophies.
That's what's left of our trophies, of my stock car trophies. Raystar would sponsor the big wheel races, and what I would do is I would take and have new plaques made for the bottom, uh, for the big wheel races, and the kids would haul off trophies just as tall as they were every night. So I got enjoyment out of giving away my trophies.
Oh, so you gave your trophies to kids. That's
Yep.
awesome.
Yep.
And this is the shirt you used to sell, or
no? That was when I drove iMod for Rich Bottler. I drove iMod for a season, and so we just made up some shirts and wore that. The big picture there, that's a street legal modified that I built here at home. And if you look real close, there's headlights and turn signals and stuff in there. And we drive that around to the different racetracks and be the pace car for the night, or I just tootle the town in it.
Do you still have this car?
No, I sold that car. It actually went to the Southwest Director of IMCA. Went to down to Texas.
Oh, wow. I'm just trying to get all your stuff there.
But when I got out of racing, I got my boys into go-kart racing.
Okay, so now do your boys race?
Nope. They did their go-kart racing. They did that for a few years. My older son, Joe, we went on to national races, and he podiumed on a lot of national races. We traveled throughout the country doing go-kart racing, and it was time to move up classes, and that was going to mean different engines and different chassis, and his commitment wasn't there 100%, so we kind of backed out of that. But that was the end of our racing careers.
So when was the final year you raced?
Oh, the year I raced, let me think about this. 96, I think, was the last year I raced. But I raced for 24 straight years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Now, did the racing change the whole time you were racing?
Oh, yeah, racing, the technology, the parts availability, that kind of stuff. Yeah, everything changed. The knowledge that you'd learn, everything changed.
So, and what about now? Do you go to the track now and watch races and see?
Believe it or not, I haven't been to a track in 5 years.
Oh, wow.
It's like a drug. I'm afraid if I go, there'll be a car in the driveway the next week. So I haven't gone back.
Okay.
I've got a lot of friends that still race that have been doing it a long time, but no, I just try to stay away.
Okay. All right, we're going to take a look here, Rich.
Sure.
Oh, are these the helmets?
Yeah, those are my actual race helmets, yeah.
That you had when you were racing?
Yep. That's the one from my motorcycle, my old dirt bike helmet, and then progressed on right on.
Now, these are for different cars, or?
No, they're just every time you had to update, you just got a newer version, and so you can see how the helmet's even progressed over the years.
Okay. Now, this is a little model of your car?
Yeah, my brother made that for me.
Oh, how cool.
Yeah.
Now, did you have a favorite track that you raced at?
Crown Point was absolutely my favorite track.
It was your favorite track?
LaSalle was a great track to run at just because of the amount of banking, how much more banking there was at LaSalle. You had to drive it differently than other tracks, but as far as a weekly track, Crown Point was absolutely it.
Was there ever a driver that you feared or anything? The one that you just cringe that you had to be by or something?
Each class, I think, I had my guys that I looked up to and wanted to just put that extra effort in for each different class. But yeah, you always try. You can never be happy, even in weeks that you won. The next week you come back, you'd always want to change something because you think you could be a little faster.
Oh, okay. And so, what would you say to the drivers that are coming up and now? Where would you tell them to start? If somebody came up to you and said, "Hey, Rich, I want to start racing," where should I start at?
Whew. Anymore, you need to start extremely early in life. Kids are, you got little kids, 6 years old, and at the go-kart track, doing both in dirt and doing the sprint style on the asphalt. And those kids, I mean, if you don't watch it, if you think, well, maybe I'm 20 years old and I want to get into racing, kid's got 14 years experience on you already. So you got to really keep that in mind.
So when did you think of it? When you seen all the newcomer kids, the younger kids, is that when you decided you wanted to quit racing? Or
no, I had an incident at Crown Point in late model class. I broke my arm. Guy hit the wall, broke his steering, came and T-boned me in the wheel, and shattered both bones in my arm.
oh, wow.
But I was back the very next week with a cast on. Amazing. You can put a cast inside a driving suit. That kind of got me thinking that, yeah, I guess you can get hurt doing this. But so I finished out the year, and that's when I got the boys into the following season. I got the boys into go-kart racing. So I was still around stuff, but just not driving anymore.
Okay. That's good. All right. Well, I thank you for giving us the thing and the tour of your little shop and your Mentos and that.
Well, thanks for letting me show you around. And
the South Lake Speedway.
Yeah.
We're gonna get them. Now is this you at a younger age?
That's me at the banquet right there, receiving the jacket and that exact trophy in 1992.
Oh, that's cool. Now, who's the J8?
Jay, that was my older son Joe. That was when we first got him into go-kart racing.
Okay.
That's the sides of his cart.
And then the J4?
J4, that same. He wanted 4 instead of 8.
Okay. Now, those
are the actual suits that the boys. That's how big they were when they got into go-kart racing.
Oh, wow.
That's their actual suits.
Oh, this is cute.
Those are jackets that we wore at Crown Point while we raced. Yeah.
Now, is this a place or someone who sponsored you Pro Racing Engines?
Yeah. Yes. Jerry McGar up there at Pro Racing out of Crown Point. He sponsored me during my hobby stock career, I guess you want to call it. Yeah, he worked with me as a sponsorship on that. I don't know if you've seen these over behind you, but there's my actual racing suit.
Oh, okay.
Not many people put them on display. They're usually shoved in a corner or closet or something, but I thought it'd be kind of cool just to see them.
So Rick has mainly got like a little racing museum here. Here's his shop of the years in the past. That is really cool. You don't see too many of those.
No.
He even has a meter here, so you can't spend too much time. Your time is up. That is so cool. And then he's got some farming into him.
Yeah.
Now, did you go? It looks like you were racing bikes here.
No, that's those are Whizzer motorbikes. I've got a couple. My dad's got a couple. We just tootle around. They're just drive on the street.
Okay. And then what is this?
That's a Polaris slingshot. I bought one of those and tore it all apart and fully customized it. And it got into several magazines. And had a guy track me down and had to own it more than I wanted it. So it's gone too.
So I see you have a picture. You have an older car here. What do you do with that?
That's I've always liked the '59 Chevys. I came across this one here, and I kind of like the idea of having something that nobody else would want to have as a wagon. So I took and restored that one and built that car.
So now, do you go and show this car?
Yeah, last year I went to 7 shows and I won 11 awards.
Okay, so we went from racing to showing.
Yep.
Is that?
It's a whole lot easier to take a car home in one piece when you go to a car show. You don't have big tire donuts in the sides of the body panels.
You don't have to worry about landing on your hood.
Yeah, that's right.
And you don't have to have a helmet or anything?
Nope. Just take a bag of rags there, wipe the dust off.
Okay, so that's what Rich is doing now. He went from racing to showing. All right. Well, if you ever want to go back, maybe you want to work at the track or something, Shady Hill, I think, is always looking for people. And I know Mike King was at Shady Hill.
Yes, he is. Yep.
I don't know if you can catch him. He's on a 4-wheeler now.
Oh, boy. Yeah, well, it's probably a whole lot easier running around. Absolutely.
So, well, I thank you very much, Rich.
Thank you, guys.